Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Baby napper Sloan nearly arrested Nicole for baby napping. Sloan requests Nicole be arrested on Days of Our Lives until calmer heads, notably Eric's, prevail. Recap of Days of Our Lives highlights. Furthermore, Chad and Stephanie called it quits. Harris filled in Stephanie's many blanks. And Chanel was concerned about her extremely fatigued mother. Let's delve a little deeper into what transpired now. Shine, son. Harris cut Sloan off with a hot tip before she could expose her falsehood. An eyewitness reported seeing a woman in a dark hoodie rolling baby Jude Roman away. Woman. Is that a dark hoodie? Could this be Nicole? Possibly. How could the two disappearances possibly be unrelated? Eric, on the other hand, was skeptical. Isn't that the same description as the one who kidnapped Victoria Margaret? What if they are the same individual? The appearance of EJ Nicole and the infant she had clasped to her chest swiftly brought the debate to an end. Sloan recognized the child. That was her child. Read this to find out what's next on Days of Our Lives. During a subsequent interrogation, Nicole revealed to Rafe that she had taken the baby. Sloan is unfit to be a mother. She abandoned him in his stroller all by himself. Bringing him home seemed the appropriate thing to do. After learning the truth, Sloan demanded Nicole be prosecuted. As long as the baby snatcher is free, she will not feel safe or able to breathe. If AJ refuses to press charges against his wife, Sloan will go straight to the state attorney general. Except she isn't going to. Because Eric preached compassion and forgiveness, Sloan backed down on her demand and even gave Nicole an option by claiming she'd given her opponent permission to take the baby. Sloan, on the other hand, had more to say to Nicole when they were alone. Sloan will make her life a horrible hell in ways she cannot comprehend if she ever comes near her child again. Increasing concern. Meanwhile, Chanel was astonished to find Paulina still in her robe, but Mama Bear maintained she was fine and that a little coffee wouldn't hurt. Chanel went out to do some Christmas shopping and pick up some lights and bourbon toothpicks for Abe from Paulina. When they ran into Alex in the town plaza, they went to a table to catch up. Alex informed Chanel about Victor being his biological father, which of course he isn't. Learn more about it here, and she told him about her reconciliation with Johnny Carson Boatman. That and her suspicion that another woman was sniffing around him. Not that she mentioned Holly by name, which a little coffee couldn't remedy. Chanel went home later to discover Paulina, who had privately complained about a sore throat, spread out on the couch and fast asleep. More and more curious, station of admiration, Chad went by the Johnson house, surprising a hungover Stephanie. He acknowledged to being extremely out of line the previous time they spoke and proposed they call it quits. Stephanie concurred. Both were concerned about what this would mean for Charlotte and Thomas. Their professional relationship had to come to an end as well. It would be too dangerous, at least for the time being. Also returning to the Spectator was Everett Bilaperus. P.S. Chad is embarrassed by what he did. Stephanie made a beeline for Karis after that heartbreaking conversation. He had good news. All that had happened between the night before was a few kisses. The bad news was that he intended to tell Vi about the smooches. The best policy is honesty and all that. Stephanie couldn't help but adore it. Following that, Stephanie ran into Alex, which irritated Chad, who had just completed receiving a slew of unsolicited life advice from Paulina. Stephanie is haunted by the ghosts of ex-boyfriends. Stephanie is teased on Days of Our Lives for stumbling across 3 previous loves in one trip. This is going to be exciting. Highlights from Days of Our Lives. Stephanie desires love and marriage with someone who adores and respects her. Instead, she's had about as bad a love life as anyone could hope for. It's going to get a whole lot worse when she stumbles into 3 of her most recent lovers all in a row. Verse first, she comes into contact with Chad and Alex. Awkward, yes. Tense, or yes, messy, without a doubt. But things get even worse when Everett walks up. She does what any female would do. She flees. One of these men is pursuing her and his surname isn't Demera or Kyriakis. Warnings and apologies. Stephanie has a girlfriend to apologize to for the last man she slept with. Will Ava comprehend why Harris acted the way he did? Will she accept his forgiveness? Given the misery that her life is going to become, she may want to take it in stride. When Stefan arrives with bad news, if his stress level reaches a boiling point, Gabby was brutally attacked in prison, and he believes it was a warning from Clyde. Does this imply they'll have to become drug runners to keep her safe from now on? A showdown with Stefan's brother adds insult to injury. He and Chad spar and things quickly turn ugly. It's not the first time and it won't be the last, but it still hurts. Good lies and bad lies. Later, Alex discusses Teresa with Brady. Is Brady wary of his ex after nearly catching her on the phone with Constantine? Is that what these men are referring to? Meanwhile, Paulina does everything she can to keep her secret hidden. Will her strategy to conceal her illness from Abe succeed? Is it finally time for her to open up and tell her loved ones what's really going on? In case you missed them the last time, Soap Hub has all of your weekly days of our lives in one place. They tell you what your favourite Salem power players will be up to in the next days, so click here to get a head start on this week's activity. Days of Our Lives airs on Peacock in the United States and the U-Network or Global TV app in Canada on weekdays. Check out all of the most recent day's spoilers for more information on what's coming up in Salem. And for an in-depth look at the show's history, go here. EJ and Nicole are given their ashes. Xander returns his daughter, and John is surprised. Chanel Dupree is concerned about Paulina Price, according to Days of Our Lives. Highlights from Days of Our Lives. EJ DeMira and Nicole Walker's ashes have arrived at the DeMira estate. Xander Cook gives the baby back to Sarah Horton. John Black astounds Mrs. Marlena Evans. Chanel Dupree is concerned about Paulina Price. On Days of Our Lives, Johnny DeMira and Chanel have plans for the evening, but Chanel observes that her mother is acting strangely. Paulina had previously undergone nasty spells and Telia Hunter Ekacher. Civilian assisted her in overcoming her panic attacks. Paulina, on the other hand, assumed it was her heart. Paulina insists that everything is fine, but she has been under a lot of stress recently. Is Paulina truly fine, or is she concealing something from Chanel? Is the stress of this drug ring in Salem, along with the responsibilities of mayor, too much for Paulina? Is there something significant going on today that Paulina needs to address? EJ DeMira dual Nicole Walker's evening has been ruined. EJ and Nicole are looking forward to a quiet evening at home when a box containing ashes arrives at the estate. Nicole doesn't believe her kid is dead, and the ashes make matters worse. EJ will attempt to organise a memorial service or place the baby's ashes in the family crypt. Xander's time with his daughter is coming to an end, and he will give her back to Sarah. Xander and Sarah, on the other hand, will begin to reconcile. Dual Chanel is concerned. EJ and Nicole are given ashes. Xander returns his daughter, and John is surprised. Sarah will confess that her feelings for Ander are resurfacing. Will Xander and Sarah reunite and raise their daughter together, as opposed to their separate co-parenting arrangement? Our Daily Lives' Marlena Evans is taken aback by John Black. John determines that Marlena requires a break because she has been working really hard recently. Of course, John and Marlena occasionally take breaks with strawberries and whipped cream. Will John whisk Marlena away for a little afternoon pleasure? Or will an urgent situation prevent him from doing so? Yet John adores his wife, and she is typically open to some rest and leisure. Of course, they could stop by the assisted care home and pay a visit to John's recently discovered father.